Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is April 8th, 2025, and Gavi has hit back at his critics. Also, Hansi Flick has requested the contract renewal of Eric Garcia. And finally, Atletico Madrid are delaying or stalling the negotiations for Lenglet. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and we'll begin with the news that Gavi has hit back at his critics. Now, as you know, Barcelona will be playing the Champions League quarterfinal tomorrow against Dortmund. By the way, speaking of the Champions League, I don't know if you guys saw, but Arsenal absolutely spanked Real Madrid today, 3-0, 3 goals in I think it was 15 minutes. 2 of them were absolute bangers by Declan Rice. I think it's his first career goal from like a free kick, if I'm not mistaken, and he decided to score 2 against Real Madrid with Merino, someone that Barcelona considered signing, scoring the third one. What an absolute bloodbath. I'm glad I got to watch the second half. I didn't watch the first half. I watched the second half, and I got to see all 3 goals. I was at work. I was screaming. I was like, oh, my God. And my coworkers are like, what's happening? I'm like, Real Madrid is getting spanked. But anyways, let's get back on topic before I get more distracted. But ladies and gentlemen, in the pre-match press conference ahead of tomorrow's quarterfinals against Dortmund, Gavi hit back at his critics, saying the following. A lot of people think I don't know how to play football, and they don't have a effing clue. It's understandable. Everyone thinks what they want, and that's fine. I'm 100%. In some games, I'm more comfortable, but I'm fine. I'm calm and comfortable and happy with the performance I'm giving. I can contribute to the team. On the pitch, you can tell I haven't changed a bit because of the injury. I have the same mentality. I'm calm and happy to be back after the injury. Many don't come back the same, but I know what I'm capable of in my mentality. I'm back as a player I was before. Hansi and I are very close. He understands that I'm coming off a serious injury. It's hard coming off a year layoff. But for me, this season has been spectacular. I'm very happy with him too. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Gavi saying that people who think he doesn't know how to play football don't have an effing clue. And I 100% agree with him, because all people see is Gavi's intensity and aggressiveness. But he's way, way more than that. He's an incredibly tactical or technical player. He's a player who can play in multiple positions as an attacking midfielder, as a defensive midfielder. And Hansi Flick, of course, sees that potential, and that's why he's put his trust in Gavi. But of course, there's always the people who cannot see or appreciate other players' talent, because of course, to them, they just want to see flashy dribbles and goals, as a football was only about flashy dribbles and goals. Anyway, speaking of Hansi Flick, since Gavi did mention him, the German coach has requested the contract renewal of Eric Garcia. Now, Eric Garcia spent last season on loan with Girona. When he came back to the club, his future was not clear. Was he going to stay? Was Barcelona going to offload him? But his future, or the doubts about his future, are no longer existent, as Hansi Flick now considers Eric Garcia as one of the most improved players on the squad. And as such, not only did he block Eric Garcia's potential loan to Girona during the winter transfer market, but now he has requested that Barcelona extend the contract of the Barcelona defender, which does expire in 2026. Now, it's reported that Hansi Flick values the tactical intelligence and contributions that Eric Garcia provides during set pieces and with late runs. And of course, Eric Garcia has become a very reliable rotational player, and we cannot deny the fact that Eric Garcia is great with the build-up from the back, and all of these qualities have made Hansi Flick request his contract renewal, which Barcelona will of course have to work on, because right now we have limited financial fair play. But Barcelona's priority right now has been to renew players, since it's a lot easier, well, easier, not a lot easier, to renew players than it is to sign new ones. And now it looks like Eric Garcia will be added to the list alongside Jules Koundé and Rafinha, which Barcelona are also working on extending their contracts. Now, speaking of defenders, Atletico Madrid are stalling the negotiations for Clement Lenglet. Now, Lenglet joined Atletico Madrid on loan during this summer with no option or obligation to buy. And even though it was a slow start for the French defender, he eventually became an important player for El Cholo Simeone, a permanent fixture in El Cholo Simeone's squad, having played 29 matches this season so far, during which he has scored 2 goals and provided 2 assists. And this, of course, has made Barcelona hopeful that they can offload him finally on a permanent basis to Atletico Madrid. However, Atletico Madrid are now stalling negotiations and are engaging in the same tactics that they always engage, which is delay until Barcelona get desperate and hope that they can negotiate a lower price. Now, Lenglet's valuation currently sits at 7.5 million euros, but Barcelona want at least 10 million euros for the French defender. However, Atletico Madrid don't want to pay that because of the wages of the player. He has very high wages, even though he did extend his contract until 2027 before he left in order to reduce his wages, but they're still pretty high for a player of his stature. So Atletico Madrid don't want to pay that much for him because, of course, they have to pay his wages. So they now stalling and delaying the negotiations for a player who Barcelona signed for 35 million euros. Anyways, now since we're still on the topic of defenders, we will end this video discussing Jules Koundé, because the French defender, who has become one of the best, if not the best, right backs in all of Europe, has already played 100 matches in a row without rest, which goes to show what an absolute beast he is. Now, the last time Jules Koundé rested was back in November of 2023, and since then he has played 100 matches for both club and nation. 18 of those have been for France, 82 of those for Barcelona. And to be more specific, he has played 8 Euro matches, 4 Nations League Cup, 6 Euro matches, 8 Nations League Cup, 4 friendlies, 54 matches in La Liga, 16 in the Champions League, 8 in the Copa del Rey, 4 in the Spanish Super Cup, during which he has received 9 yellow cards, 0 reds, scored 4 goals, and provided 11 assists. What an absolute beast Jules Koundé is. To think that most players need to rest in order to avoid injury, but here's Jules Koundé actually needed to play to avoid injury, because 100 matches is incredibly high. Of course, the record is 130, and it looks like Jules Koundé is headed towards breaking it. Hopefully, knock on wood, he does not get injured, because he has been absolutely instrumental in Hansi Flick's squad. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I will be uploading another video after this one, and I uploaded one before this one. So make sure you check all of them out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, peace, Barca.